I've been playing Minecraft for years, and over that time I've been developing my building skills. So today I'm going to share over 50 different build ideas, tips and tricks that I've come up with or that I've seen online. Which is why we are in my test world, full of different builds I've done. This is one of the first things I recommend doing, building custom crates using different types of trapdoors. For example, over here I've used spruce, bamboo and jungle trapdoors to make plant pots for dirt, rooted dirt, and even farmland using the different crops available in the game. And you can even pile them up or combine them nearer to each other to look like you've had a big shipment of items. This would work especially well if you had a custom dock area, or even just a massive storage system. And these are some other designs using different types of honey. So we've got honey blocks, honeycomb, and we've also got shroomlight, which looks a bit like honey, but it can also provide some light into your Minecraft builds. Next up, here's a simple cart design using a couple of spruce slabs, signs, trapdoors, and a fence gate. There's also a little bench design here using 2 spruce trapdoors, 2 unlit campfires, and 2 spruce signs. I've also created a custom lamppost using some spruce trapdoors, a lantern, a hopper, 2 spruce fences, a stone brick wall, and a block of cobblestone. And once again, I think this would work really well around a dock area or in a village. Something else which would work really well in a dock area or a storage system is a wine barrel. And next to it you could even add some crates like I've mentioned earlier, but using some different alive coral. All you need to do is place a block of water beneath it and it will never dry out. And this is the design of a wine barrel. You just need some spruce blocks. And although it's empty inside, it does look like it could store something. And so could this barrel shelf. And on top of barrels, you could make sure to add some tripwire hooks, so it looks like there's a hook or a handle on these barrels. Instead of using flowers for all your plants inside of your world, you could use some waterlogged mangrove roots and put some different corals on the top. And the waterlogged mangrove roots will allow these to never die. And honestly, these corals look a bit like flowers themselves. You could also design this custom well/fountain area using some different types of mossy and regular stone bricks, placing some candles and a couple of flower pots. And also, although there's no full blocks, it's all just stairs, this is waterlogged and it will work as an infinite water source. Another cool trick you could use is using daylight detectors as egg boxes, as they sort of look like there's eggs on top. Here's a cool little dog crate design using some bamboo trapdoors, a bamboo plank, a block of scaffolding, and then next to it add some moss carpet with a decorated pot which looks a bit like a dog bowl. And here's the dog looking all happy in it. I don't know why his nose is poking out though. Next up there's this well design which I think I found from Whip originally, but I add it all over my Minecraft world. You can mix it up by using some stone bricks or even some deep slate and adding some wooden fences and a wooden roof on top. And this also works as an infinite water source. Here's a cool way of making a custom bookshelf using actual bookshelves, chiseled bookshelves, and the side texture of a loom, so it looks like an empty bookshelf. And I know chiseled bookshelves do the same thing, but it just helps to add further variation. Speaking of variation, I've got a load of different cart designs, from ones with a composter, a spruce fence and a grindstone, to one with a trapdoor on top, to a cauldron with water inside it with its own custom wheels, and then we've also got them without the grindstone. You could also create some custom log piles. For example, I've got a spruce one here, using a retextured soul campfire as a spruce log, or you could do the default oak log piles. I've also created another lamppost design using a chiseled stone brick with 4 buttons, a stone brick wall, spruce fence, stone brick wall, spruce stair, trapdoor, spruce slab, trapdoor, fence, and a lantern hanging off of it, which would also work really well in a village. A cool trick you can use with your decorated pots is placing one down and you can place a flower pot on top and adding a flower, as normally it will just fill with items. If you're creating more of a city or industrial building area, you could use dried kelp blocks and some dead coral fans, as it looks like bin bags. Maybe you thought that was a rubbish idea. In that case, why not create some more custom crates using the different raw blocks? Now this could just be from your mining trip, or for example, blocks like the raw copper block almost look like it's a barrel of fish. Another thing you could use with decorated pots is adding a flower pot with a dead bush and then adding a leaf on top to make a custom little tree. Next, I've got a cool table design using some scaffolding and some bamboo trapdoors as chairs, having a simple spruce stair and slab design. And you can create the effect of there's bread on the table by using a pressure plate, an item frame, and placing a piece of bread or steak inside. And here's a cool design for a computer. You just need a pressure plate. I would recommend using a smooth stone block, a button on the side, a painting, I've got my own custom painting, and then you can even add an apple on the back. And I use invisible item frames for this design. Next, you could do a very simple water trough design. This could work really well in different animal pens, such as for your cows. Here's another cool bookshelf design, but with some more variation, because these here are paintings. You see, I play Minecraft with a load of mods and texture packs, and one of the texture packs adds a ton of different variations to paintings, which I love using. For example, I believe these are from Whip's texture pack. You can have different shelf designs, or even a coat hanger. And then I recently added in some bookshelf textures to add extra variation to my bookshelf designs. Another one of my favourite paintings is a giant map. An additional part to my texture pack is the fact that I now use custom fences from Vanilla Tweaks, which I think look much better as tree trunk designs. If you want a couple more bookshelf designs, these are some good ideas. Adding some bookshelves behind some barrels and some lanterns, and then using invisible items again, you could add some books or books and quills onto the floor. Also, to customize your oak floors, you could add some stripped oak logs and some beehives. Something even better about beehives is they are rotational. Or you could use this design here using a skeleton skull and some chiseled bookshelves behind. And you could also add this effect by adding in some custom drawers. And once again, I am using invisible item frames. As in a majority of my Minecraft worlds, I have an invisible item frame data pack to allow me to add extra detail and customization into my world. Here's a cool sort of wasteland idea. You could mix in some stone and andesite with some dead coral and add these as if they are decayed plants. And with fences, you could even add some torches. And I think this would work really well in a jungly area. You could add a berry bush plant pot area, and I think this looks really cool, and this could definitely be added inside of a village. Just make sure your villagers do not walk inside of it. You could add some cool paper lanterns into your world using some frog lights and banners, or some cool water tap designs using some fences, a stained glass block going into a decorated pot, as it pretty much fits perfectly. Here are some cool mini custom tree or bush designs using some different blocks, such as the mangrove ones with mangrove leaves and mangrove roots, or mangrove roots and spruce leaves. And if you have a dock area, you could create a shipment of anvils. Instead of just placing bee nests randomly in your world, you could add them on top of oak fences, and even mix in some composters, as they are very similar textures. If you're creating a classroom, a good idea would be to add a custom whiteboard in. For example, here I'm using plain white maps with glow item frames behind on a green terracotta background. And now it looks like I could be teaching something, although I have no idea what I could teach. Maybe some more build ideas, such as mixing in azalea bushes with moss blocks to create a taller tree. Maybe you don't want to use moss blocks, you could also use azalea leaves or flowering azalea leaves. And here's a cool path design using some stone, andesite, stone buttons and stone pressure plates. But what about a custom pond area with custom lily pads using warp trapdoors and some different coral fans? If you want some custom pumpkin designs, you could even add on some green candles or some sea pickles. And over here, there is another cool water pump design using a lever instead of a fence this time. Now, one of my personal favorites would be a custom desert area, mixing in some upside down sandstone stairs as variation to the sand as it looks more cobbly. And you could also mix in some pink candles on top of your cactus to add little flowers. Maybe one day we'll get flowers on cactus. Here's another really cool terraforming trick you could use, mixing in some grass, some moss blocks and some jungle leaves, whilst also adding some dark oak saplings, dandelions and spruce fences, and this could definitely be used in an overgrown area, as not every part of your Minecraft world needs to be full of builds. However, here's some more Minecraft build ideas. You could create custom presents using different blocks like this and adding coral fans on top. Maybe not dried kelp though, as I did explain it as a rubbish bag earlier, and I don't think anyone would want to receive that for their birthday or for Christmas. Next, I've got a ton of different decoration designs you could add around basically anywhere in your world. You could add piles of composters, note blocks, crafting tables, decorated pots, beehives, chiseled bookshelves, barrels, chests, or even smithing tables. Here's some cool underwater mine designs using some chiseled deep slate and some copper lightning rods, or you could even use it with copper blocks. And you could even add a chain beneath so it's tied to the bottom of the ocean. Here's a cool little blocky slime design with a frog on top. And here's a cool entrance design using some spruce and some oak leaves. You could pile up decorated pots to use it as piping, or as just a basic wall design. And I recently found this from a Zoomer's Hermitcraft videos. Here's another cool design for beehives, adding an oak fence beneath it. And here are a ton of items you could add onto your shelves. Candles, book and quills, turtle eggs, sea pickles, campfires, book and quills again, decorated pots, blocks of amethyst, skeleton skulls and flower pots. Here's another cool table design using different seating this time with campfires and signs. And if you use invisible item frames, you could add a pickaxe on top of a smithing table, or a map on top of your cartography table. Here's a cool light design using redstone torches and redstone repeaters. And here's a cool farm design with potatoes. Using campfires, you could create a custom train track design. And using target blocks, you can create an archery arena. And here are some cool interiors I've done. Here it looks more like a medieval sort of prison or castle area. This one's more of a sewer. And this is a library. A really cool effect you could add into your world is using candles on top of spore blossoms to create floating flowers. And for more floating, you could also add some floating candles above your enchantment table. Another cool design I found off of Whip is using hanging signs as a form of decoration, and honestly, these look really cool. Another thing that looks really cool is adding oak fences or any type of fence up along a wall, as it looks like a giant ladder. And over here are all of my custom mushrooms. You could add them with end rods and mushroom blocks, or create them a bit bigger using actual mushroom stems, or just using birch fences. And this makes me really want to create a custom forest area again in my Minecraft hardcore world, which you can check out the newest video for on my channel now. Here are a couple more present designs, and here are some ideas of things you could put on top of scaffolding as mini tables, such as brewing stands, flower pots, or lanterns. You may have noticed around here there are a ton of mini blocks. And something I use in most of my Minecraft worlds is a Wandering Trader data pack from Vanilla Tweaks, which adds mini blocks into the game. And these really help with decoration. However, they don't stack on top of each other properly, so you can't really create custom trees. But you could also use commands to access them if that's what you like to do in your Minecraft world. And here I've got some cool custom barrels, and here I've even got my own player head. You know, in case I ever wanted to create a human llama. I don't know why I would. But yeah, there's a lot of mini blocks you could use. You could use crafting tables, coal ore, mini pumpkins, TNT, spruce logs, oak logs, warp blocks, beehives, honeycomb, clay, raw iron, raw copper, sand, melons, and a sniffer. Why is a sniffer here? But here's a cool market stand design I've used all throughout my hardcore world. One of the best parts of this is you can vary the wool out and change the different banner designs so they're different coloured, which could even represent what you sell from it. For example, you may sell fish from a blue one, or plants from a green one. Another cool trick with TNT you could use is adding red candles as little sticks of dynamite. And here's a cool lamp design using scaffolding, a dragon egg, and a chiseled quartz block. But I guess you could only have one in your world. At least that gives a use to the dragon egg. Here's a cool nuclear waste design using lime stained glass and lime carpet at the bottom with light behind it. And it creates a very eerie effect at night. If you're feeling a little bit cruel, why not create a custom cage hanging from maybe a tree or a building? And who's inside? A villager called a non-subscriber. So yeah, I wouldn't risk that. Hit that subscribe button, and also make sure to like and hit the notification bell. Another really cool thing I like to add in my Minecraft hardcore world is custom statues representing different things. For example, I may have survived a certain amount of time, or reached a new YouTube milestone, which you could help me with if you subscribe. But yeah, those are just some of the different build ideas I have to give you. And to be honest, I haven't counted them, but I'm pretty sure that's over 50. So if you found any useful or enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, I'll stop asking now. Goodbye. But one more thing, comment down below what your favourite build idea was.